All right, welcome everyone. Hope you're having a fantastic day. Let's go ahead and make sure you all can hear me. If you please type number one in the chat box, let me know you can. I would greatly appreciate it. Kind of move some things around here. Afternoon, Brenda. Hey, Jeff, how you doing, my friend? Thanks, Andrew. There you go, Patty. O-N-E, one. All right. Hey, listen, it's all about having fun, right? Has to be. All right. Let me go ahead and get this party started. Let's get a video going. That around a little bit. Excellent. I can see me now. Very good. Well, welcome everybody. I hope it has been a great trading day for you. As we get started, keep in mind that everything we look at is for education. Nothing meant to be advice or recommendations. If you find something that you like, anything, make sure it fits your own personal risk profile and risk tolerance. All right. So our agenda today, we're going to go through a slide with how you can follow along with us. Then we're going to look at today's trades, upcoming economic reports. We'll review the market. We'll look at future trainings. We'll take today's topic and we'll go through your stock review. Let's see. Oh, great to have you back, Lisa. I'm glad you made it. That's excellent. Good, good, good. You know, it's funny, we've had a resurgence lately of students that we haven't seen in a while, and it's that January effect, and that's normal for us to see it. I mean, we get a lot of interaction. January, February, March. There's a lot of people coming back in. Some stick, some do not. You know, they're just checking it out again, trying to decide if the market's really for them or not. We hope you all do stick it out. I mean, and there's some great opportunities. I'm going to share some things with you today as well. But as we get in here, where are we? So I'll go a little bit longer on that before we get into the next piece. But here's our follow us page. So you could follow along on the various social platforms just so you understand what happens each and every week. I sit down with my team once a week. We go into our recording studio. We do 2 YouTube videos every week. We do 10 shorts, which are TikTok, Instagram, LinkedIn, YouTube. We get them up on all of those as well, Twitter. And then we do a podcast every single week, right, guys? And there's so much out there. I try to get, when I can, I try to write some Facebook posts as well. That's one of my commitments for this year, is to do more of those in our members area, you know, on our Facebook page. But there's a lot of opportunities to follow along with us. You don't have to follow on everyone, but you certainly want to follow along on 1 or 2, maybe even 3 of what we're doing in there. All right. So let's go ahead and take a look at today's trades. What did you all do? Drop them in. Funded, non-funded, doesn't matter. Win, lose, draw, doesn't matter. If it happened today or Friday or not yesterday, because yesterday was Monday, we were off. Friday, Thursday, you know, the end of the week, drop them in. Let's see what y'all did. First one in is Andres, played a bounce up off the negative 272 on SPY for a plus $480 to the midpoint. Nice. Great job. Great job, Andres. I love it. Absolutely love it. Fantastic. While y'all are working on getting that in, let me go ahead and bring my charts up. And I've got 3 check marks in there that I want to look at stocks today, right? The very first one is booking, right? That's the first chart I want to focus on today. And I watched booking open up today and said, you know, thank you, Andres. Andres said, all thanks to you. Well, I appreciate that. Thank you. He's talking about the trade setup. So, and this came out of some of the Fibonacci stuff that we do, guys, inside of the live training that's been going on. But I looked at booking. I saw we gapped down a little bit. I saw we ran. We were running into the 0 line. I thought, all right, overall, we're in an ugly looking pattern, period, in the last 2 months. So we're going to get a break of the blue line and fail. And if we look at a 5-minute candle, if we look at a 5-minute, let's see, we look at a 5-minute candle. We broke down, we gap back up right to the fib line and fail, right? So we're talking about the entry in here would have been right about, call it 48.50, just to give it easy math, right? 850. The exit would have been, let's call it 47.70, right? That's a $80 move on booking. right? I didn't take it today, right? It is a pop trade, so it's going to be a great trade for us for this year. I did not take it for today, but overall, it was a great setup, right? I did look at, and again, everything is non-funded, right? Just for education purposes. I looked at CrowdStrike today. I had them on my list because we closed at a rank of 1, bullish bias rank of 1. We gapped up and pulled back. Well, that gap up was big. What did the pullback do? Well, if we look at CrowdStrike's 5-minute candle, come on, okay. We gapped up, we pulled down. Here's our fib line right here. We're going to call it 358 even, 357.99. On that same candle, we closed at 358.67. So 358, 358.67, we're talking about 67 cents difference, right? We stretched down, we gapped down on the next candle, and we went to a low of 358.30, which is 30 cents off of this level, and we bounced. Ding, 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 winner, winner, chicken dinner. That's where the trade gets taken, right off of that bounce, right in there. And that came in right about 10:20 this morning. The 360 calls were $6. If that's the one you chose to get, there was $6 in there. If we look right now, let's see, CRWD. If we look at CrowdStrike right now, we look at the 360 calls. They're trading on a mid price of 958, call it 960, which basically that's $3.60 to the upside if you're still in that trade. So overall, I'm not complaining at all, right? The Depot, we'll go back and look at the chart first. I'll just set it up since we're there. Home Depot, let's go look at the daily chart. Got to start with the daily. Have to start with the daily. We have no concept of what's going on. We had a really big gap up. The question was, did we get the move we wanted to bounce off of that 413 level? Let's see. So we'll go back to the 5. We're actually going to go to a 1. We went to the 5 and we ran right through. We gapped up and ran straight through the blue line. Right? Let's go look at a 1-minute candle. Right? Because we stepped down our time frame. You know, we had an interesting meeting on Friday and Saturday. Our Inner Circle, which is our highest level coaching program. Brandon Wendell came in and taught for the 2 days, and Brandon went through some stuff that he's not taught before, or at least never to our students. These are things that he's taught, and he went into time frame and some of that, and he was talking about multiple time frames, which I'm a big fan of multiple time frames. Actually, we got a comment here. Sorry that I'm sliding off screen, guys, but I'm on a different computer because I don't get these emails on the other one. Let's see. We got a YouTube comment on Brandon's multiple time frame analysis trading coach's playbook, where it said, "Thanks a lot for this. Helped me a lot to understand more." Right, and that was Brandon talking multiple time frames. He did it on this weekend with our students, our Inner Circle students, and it's the same type of analysis that I do. So what happened? We gapped up right here. There's the blue line. We went right through, closed above. We pulled back. Now our blue line, we're going to call it 413. Right? It's close enough, 413, 412.95, 413, okay? We ran up, we pulled back on this candle, the first black candle. Oh, we moved, the chart moved, so another minute went by. So we closed here at 413.24. We're 24 cents away from that line. And what happened? We gapped up, we pulled back and bounced, we gapped up. I'm not in that fast anyway. I'm probably, if we're at 413, I'm not in before 414 anyway. So somewhere in here is where I'm in that trade. We pulled back to the 14 and ran ever since there, right? So this was a great little setup. This was an option that was, the 410s were 660. So 410s was 660. Right now they're 880. So about $2.20 we're up on that position right now. So overall, not too shabby, right? Not complaining, not worried about it, not thinking about it. I mean, these two were perfect setup. Booking was me busy with other things, focused on something else, different setup I was looking at. Booking moved. I didn't catch it. It was a great trade. Should have had it automated in there. It was a great trade. I just never got a chance to set it up. Congrats to those of you that put your trades up there. Remember, you know, I've said this before in past years, but folks, this is the accountability section of the training. This is you putting it out to the world. Look, no one knows who Andreas is, or maybe one or two of you do, but no one really knows Andreas, right? It's not like you're going to track him down and say, "Oh my God, I can't believe you did that," or "Oh my God, I can't believe you actually did that," right? No one's going to rag on you for it. I would never say, "How dare you place a trade like that? That was horrible." This is all about putting it out to the universe, showing that you're doing it, getting involved, participating, because the more you participate, it's funny, the more I seem to give, more I seem to do. Yeah, there you go. Patty said, great training to all of you. I agree, Patty. It was good, good job for everybody there. I don't see Tripp in here today. Let's see, is Trader Will in here? He is not. Roman, were you in the trading room this morning? Did they get any trades off today? Did you guys take any trades in the room this morning? In the trading room is for the inner circle. Again, our highest level coaching. Tripp and Will have been very instrumental in the Hakanashi scalp in there. All right. So let's go ahead and yes, they got some trades off in there today. Excellent. Good. Glad to hear it. Let's see. Let's go back over to our presentation and let's jump in there. Economic reports. So let me bring you over there. We've got multiple pages open right now. Oh, let me start this up while I'm seeing it. Guys, I want you all to do this. Hey, Andrew, can you do me a favor, please? Drop in a link to tradinglikeaboss.com. On this page, there's a brand new training. These are all free. Every one of these trainings are free, right? If you scroll down in the middle row, all the way to the far right, you will see Level Up Your Trading with AI, free AI trading prompts. Download your copy. It's a document that I've created. There's access to a members area where we've got a video that shows how to use it, right? How I use the prompts in there. I explain to you what each of the things are. The document is 15 or 20 pages long or something, I think. There are 10 AI prompts that are stock market related in there. Things to use AI for, and what platform, in my opinion, the only platform, and it's not ChatGPT, and it is free. You don't have to pay a penny for it. The only platform you should consider using for it. Okay, so go over there and download that training, guys. You will not be disappointed in this training, right? Again, training document. It's a PowerPoint, a PDF rather, and then there's a video in the members area that you'll get access to. All right, so we look at the economic reports. Let's go ahead and open these up and see what the heck we got going on today. So I'm going to grab a pen. So we've got WBHQ annual meetings. If you don't know what that is, come over here to the details, click on it, right? WBHQ annual are held in Davos and attended by central bankers and prime ministers, finance ministers, the trade ministers, and business leaders from all 90 countries. Most meetings are open to the press, and officials usually talk, right? WEF, World Economic Forum, okay? So you can see exactly what that is. If you have an interest in it, click the X to close it down. If you're not sure, so you don't know what flash manufacturing PMI is, click on it, right? PMI, Purchasing Managers Index, okay? So we're looking at red and orange, particularly, is what I want to see. So what do we have? It's all the economic reform happening these 3 days, right? But which are all day. And they're orange. You might get a note out of there or something that may happen, or somebody said something, but it's not usually a big report. Unemployment at 8:30 tomorrow, although it does not affect the new president. It is the first announcement, the first economic report, major economic report that comes out during his presidency. So 11 o'clock, we've got crude inventories. If you're in Brandon's E-mini think tank, Brandon has a trade specifically designed to trade crude on Wednesday, on Thursday, because we got a holiday this week, and then so it's normally a Wednesday. Thursday then is gas, natural gas. World Economic Forum again on Friday. You got PMI, Purchasing Managers Index, 9:45. Oh, I missed this. President Trump to speak, tentative. I don't know if it's going to happen or not. I mean, brand new. Someone asked him last night if you saw in the meetings in the White House, he was signing some executive orders. Did President Biden leave you a note? And he goes, you know what? I don't know. I guess it'd be in the drawer, right? And he opened it up. He goes, oh, yeah, it's right here. He said, I wouldn't even have found it for months if you didn't tell me. So, and he said, I just got here 45 minutes ago. I have no idea what's happening yet. So is he going to speak tomorrow? I don't think they have enough of a insight yet, but I think you're going to start to see more and more of him hitting the news channels early and hard with some of the announcements that he's made. So we've got the PMI, which is at 9:45. That means the market's open, guys. Be very careful when you have trades going on and you got major reports coming out that could affect it. And then existing home sales and consumer sentiment, which are orange, they're coming out at 10. We got nothing else. These are all for next week. I'm not worried about those. Okay. So we've got some reports coming out, some economic reports, nothing crazy. At all? Yeah, true, Pat. Patty said that was funny that Dossie, the guy who asked, knew it, but he didn't, right? The president, and he said, "Yeah, I left him a note the last time they left me a note." It's just what's done. All right, let's see. So let's take this down for now. Let's go back here. And next on our docket is market review. This is where we go ahead and we talk about what's going on in the market right now, right? And we're talking S&P 500. That's what I mean by market. I'm not looking at stocks yet. We'll get to those. That's not what this segment is about. This segment is all about what's happening in the S&P. And my goodness gracious, I'm going to really zoom in on this, okay? And I want you to understand, here we are last week, or this today, okay? These are updated candles. So here's Friday, Thursday, Wednesday, Tuesday, Monday, right? This was where we were in our last power hour that we did, okay? This is where we were on this day. And I've said it in Power Hour. I've said it in Mastermind. I've said it in our Inner Circle. I said it in our SPX video over the weekend, the Traders Market Intelligence Report. We've got a lot to contend with here with what's happening in the market right now. And what do I mean by that? Well, I'm going to use a red pen. We had this consolidation phase taking place there, that blue zone, and we crashed down, right? And we had a high, which is actually our all-time high is right there. And then we came down and we bounced from right in here and we put in a now lower high. So we had a high, H, and then LH for lower high, right? And then here we had a low. And this next candle, it's not by much as we move down, but we put in LL, lower low, right? We moved back up and we ran here and failed hard yet again. And we put in another lower high, right? We came all the way down and put in a new lower low. And all along I'm asked, where do you get in? Where do you go long? Because I know it. Here's the feeling, the thought around markets. We've got a great market going on. When do I add to a position? When do I just bail? And the feeling lately on Wall Street is basically, if you get a 5% pullback in your stock and it starts to bounce off a key level, buy more. Buy more. We're not done going up yet. Actually, I don't know the number right now. I'll tell you in a second. But I did see this morning we were at 104,000 on Bitcoin. Let's see. Let me open up my Robinhood app and see where my Bitcoin is, or where Bitcoin is. We're up on the day. We're at 105,527 right now on Bitcoin. Okay. So new president in place, very pro crypto. I think you're going to see Bitcoin take off. There's expectations of 150,000, others that are saying 200,000 for the year. I don't know if we hit 200,000. I don't know if we hit 150. I just don't believe we're done going up yet at this point. Would I add to my position yet? I have not. If I am adding, I'm probably adding to my Ethereum. I'm probably not adding to my Bitcoin right now. I've got enough on Bitcoin, but don't know yet. You can't hold me to it just yet. And those are funded positions that I own, are Bitcoin and Ethereum, okay? So when we got down to this lower low, and I said it, listen, guys, for me to feel bullish, it's not just a matter of getting up here above our moving averages. That's important, but that is not what instills confidence in me to say it's time to add to positions. I said the first thing I've got to do is take out the recent lower high. That's first and foremost. At this point, I like it. Now I'd love to see a little bit of a pullback and a retest of this whole blue zone in here, which is my 618 that comes off of my ABC pattern, my 6,000, and this fib line, whatever the fib line is from. I can't tell with the marker on it. If I shut it off, it's going to wipe out everything that I've drawn already. So, but we've got this blue zone inside of here. Right? It's just an area of consolidation. That's all it is, an area of strength. Right? We closed there on Friday, and today, Tuesday, we gap up, retest, and bounce. And we did make a higher high this time than the previous one right here, right? We've got a higher high. So that kind of wipes out that one right now. But am I confident to say, all right, it's time to jump in the market? I'm okay with day trades at this point. I'm okay with bullish day trades. We are in a true bullish bias right now. So I'm okay with a full allotment. What does that mean? We talk easy numbers are multiple of the same of number of contracts, right? So 10 contracts is a standard trade, 4 contracts is aggressive. And that's because it's easy to do the math, right? If you tell someone, let's go ahead and do 3 contracts, and the price of the option is $3.68. Now, okay, $3.68. So 368 times 3. So if we round it to 70, that's 210 plus. It's too much work to do the math in my head. Okay, it's way too much work. It's a lot easier to say do 10 contracts, do 1 contract, do 3 contracts, whatever the number is. But in reality, the way that you should be looking at this is not, I'm going to buy this many contracts, is I'm going to put this many dollars into a trade. Because if you say, oh man, this one here, this is Home Depot, right? On Home Depot, I am so bullish on this. Man, I think this is the home run trade. I'm going to bet the farm on this one. And you're wrong. You're going to wipe yourself out, right? Even if it's not all of your money, but you put 2 or 3 or 4 times more than you normally would. Because you got a tip, your friend told you, a belief, a gut feel, whatever it is. If you look at this and say, all right, I'm going to take a $5,000 account because that's what I have to trade with as an argument, right? For argument's sake, $5,000. And I'm going to do 3 to 5 equal dollar trades. Well, what does that mean? Well, 5 is easy. That's $1,000. 3 equal dollar trades is $1,600, $1,700 each, somewhere around there. So you may run over a little bit. So maybe the contract is $18. Maybe that's per share price. So that's $1,800 for 1 contract. Okay, I'm going to do 1, right? Or it's let's make this easy and say $1,000. Again, it's simpler, right? So I'm going to put 5 equal dollar trades on. I'm going to trade Home Depot today. I'm going to do $1,000 in Home Depot. If I'm looking to buy an option right now and it's $6.05, which just dropped down to $6, right? Let's call it $6. Then that's $600. I can only do 1. Can you fudge and do 2? You're close. You make that call, okay? But generally, you want to stick with the 1. If I switch over here and go to let's see, if I go to SPY, and SPY, of course, we have day positions, right? I've got $1.60, so that's $160. Let's call it 150 to make it easy math. So 153, 456, 759. You can do 6 contracts of SPY. Okay, you're putting equal dollars into the trade. It's not a matter of equal contracts. It's a matter of equal dollars, okay, in that trade. So now we break above the recent lower high. Doesn't matter if we stay there or not. We got above it, right? I would expect the pullback. My desire, my hope, desire is a strong word. My hope is we pull back somewhere to either this level, or this level and bounce. Whatever one it is, but somewhere within that blue zone. And I certainly would like to see a stretch of the wick down into the blue zone. We did today a little bit, but not really what I'm looking for. A little bit more, just another one on the pullback and a bounce to show that the bears tried to break it down and could not and bounced, right? And that would be the possible entry for me now. So if we go back and look at this, get today out of here, right? I am in position number 1 in the chair. I am sitting back, hands behind head. I cannot touch the keyboard at this point, and I'm interested, but there's nothing that says, ooh, take me, right? Today comes along, and now what? I go from position 1 in the chair to position 2. I am sitting upright. As we pull back into that level, if we go over and look at SPY, okay, I don't know where the fib went on there. If we look at SPY, we have the same type of blue zone happening in there, right? With that 600 level and that 598.68, right? So as let's break it down and look at a 5-minute candle, right? I mean, okay, we need the daily. Let's do this. What are we looking at in there? I don't want to put it on all time frames. Let's just go put it on the 5-minute. Right, so let me make this 600. Set it to a dash dot. This is just the way that I like to do it. That's the color I choose for it. Draw behind it. Show for all S. I don't want to show for all SPY. I just want to show it here. I don't know why the color didn't change. There we go. Not really sure why I didn't add it. It's all right. We're just going to use this line right here. Okay, there's our 600 right there. Okay, so we stretched all the way down into that blue zone, intra candle, right, intraday, came above, retested, bounced, right, and took off from there. So could you have used that as an opportunity to say, I'm interested in taking this trade? Yes, right? Why? Because the S&P 500 gave us the exact setup we're looking for. We transitioned it from the S&P over to the S&P 500 over to the 5-minute SPY candle. Oh, I'm having problems here today with my lines. Oh, I'm on a 5-minute chart. That's why. There we go. Because we saw the pattern set up here. Now we can shift back into a different position. And it doesn't have to be SPY. You could have done it on Apple. You could have done it on Google. You could have done it on CrowdStrike. The pattern was there. The S&P said, go forth and be prosperous. Now go find another position to trade. The market just gave you the go-ahead. This is your confirmation that you have a better chance of being right in the trade, right? The concern that I have is we are all, and me as well, many times, we are so focused on trying to get in that lowest low, pay as little as possible, right? I mean, I learned this before ever taking my first training on the stock market was you buy low and sell high, right? And that was the way that it was analyzed. I talked about this last week with a friend of mine that, he always tried to get into the lowest low and get out the highest high. And I said, I've only done that once in my entire trading career, ever. It was on an energy stock, ever, right? Get into the lowest low and get out the highest high. How about you get into the high and get out of the higher high? You don't have to wait for that lowest low. That's the equivalent of, I can't set a resolution until January 1st. I missed it this year, so I guess I can't go to the gym until next January. Yeah, good for you. Go for it, right? So we want to make sure that as the market sets up, we've got a plan, right? We have a plan. And that plan is critical to any success, right? And that is why, and I talk about this over and over and over and over again. Andrew, if anybody says this is corny, feel free to eject them from the room, okay? So let's see. All right. If you couldn't read it because it's backwards, day trading playbook, top secret, this confidential document is not for distribution, right? And you can get in it. Now they're in plastic sheets, so it's a little bit thicker because of that. But you can get an example of how many pages I've got in there, right? There's probably about 40 pages, 35 pages in it, right? Because each plastic sheet has 2 pages in it, right? Because there's one in the front, one in the back. And what that book is, that is my trading plan. It is all documented for me. And we're going to talk about this a little bit in our topic for today, in our training topic for today, right? It's well documented in there so that if I have any questions, I go right to that book, right? When I first started, I put a lot of this stuff on, made a piece of paper, and then I laminated the sheet. I didn't know about these plastic sheet covers, but I would go get it laminated, and then I would use a grease pencil, right? Just an erasable marker, whatever you want to use, right? But I use the grease pencil. Remember those pencils, you peel the paper off of it, not turn them, you'd peel it, right? And you just spin it off. It was one of those black grease pencils, and I would put a check mark next to every item. So I literally would have boxes for whatever the line item was that I was reading, right? And my text was here. And I would put a check mark inside of it, right? All of this behind the check mark was all on the white paper underneath. And I would put a check mark. I get down to number 3. If it doesn't work, no good. Cancel, go find something else. The trade doesn't work, right? But I had all of my plan, all of my rules written out of what I wanted to do because I never, ever, 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 ever want to forget something. And I am that methodical that I need every single detail, or else I'm expecting to do something wrong. I have to have it documented down. I'll give you an example. And it's not just in trading, it's in everything I do in life, right? I went ahead and watched a couple of YouTube videos on baking sourdough bread. My first couple of times of trying to do my starter were massive failures. Figured out what I was doing wrong. Now I have become a fairly good sourdough bread baker. Okay. And my book that has all the details behind it is probably 15 pages long of what to do on day 1, day 2, day 3. That is this weekend with our sourdough, right? That was 3 loaves I made this weekend. 1.5 loaves are gone already. My mother-in-law is with us, and she has not stopped picking at that bread. All right. But my details are all documented. I don't forget a step. I never, ever, ever have to worry about anything. It's all documented. That's me with everything I do in life. I want it all written down. Okay. Could I do it faster if I didn't go through the documentation process? Yeah, but I'm going to forget something. If not today, another day. Right? I'm going to forget to put in the salt. I'm going to forget that the first bake is 20 minutes, not 15. I'm going to do only 15, and I'm going to try to do 20, and I'm going to ruin the bread. It's going to be mushy inside and blah, 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 right? Whatever it is. It's no different on my trade. I'm going to forget to check something. I have it documented. And listen, when I get on an airplane, pilot's got a checklist. Pilot takes that checklist and they walk around the plane and they put a check mark next to it. Checks the wheels, checks the fuel, checks that the door closes, which didn't happen one time on a plane I was on. They couldn't close the door. Right? And I was in first class and I heard the flight attendant say, but we have a strap that we can hold it closed with. I'm like, we ain't taking off. I will stand in the middle of the door and not let you take off if you try to strap a door closed and say we're going to fly like that. Right? No, thank you. Right? And he said, we can't. The door doesn't close. We have to, we got to get maintenance to fix it. It took 4 or 5 hours to fix it, but I got home safe. Right? Checklist, checklist, checklist. Have it all documented, every bit of it. So we broke through. Retest, bounce, right? On the upside, you're going to have some hesitation at the 60-49, 60-50 level, 60-60 level. You could put a little bit of a blue zone inside of there. I'm going to draw it small. Oh, I did not want that to be that far over. Let's try that again. Let's keep from here. I don't want to cover up the whole blue line. I don't want to hide the numbers. I don't want anything like that to happen. Right? But that would be its own little blue zone. So you're going to see some hesitation there. Break out of that 60-60 and bounce. And once again, I'm all over this white on rice, right? I am full bore. We are in a true bullish bias at this point. Katie bar the doors. It's time to put X into that trade. However many dollars you are allotting in a trade, it's now time to start looking at it like that, right? And then you can make adjustments along the way. Let's say that your normal is going to be $1,000 is what's going to be in your trade, right? Well, what if you went as far as saying, all right, I like this trade, but I think it's aggressive. I'm a little concerned that I want to participate, but I'm a little concerned that if I put a full allotment in there, I may get in trouble, and I don't want to do that. So I'm going to go ahead and be aggressive, and instead of $1,000, I'm going to put $400 in the trade. Well, that Home Depot trade, that CrowdStrike trade, they're off the table. The booking trade you can forget about, right? That's not happening with $1,000 either. Okay. And if you're trading $1,000 allotments, then you shouldn't be trading booking anyway. That's okay. Paper trade it. Learn how to trade it when you get better at it. Right? Because yes, that 80-point move today would have been extremely nice had you done that. And we do that in pop with 4 contracts. Right? That right there is a home run. That made our entire January. Just that one trade right there made our entire January. Right? So I'm looking at that 60-60 level on resistance. I'm looking at that 60-07, 60-08 level, I guess, that whole blue zone as my downside. If we break through there, we're still in a bullish territory, but I want to see where do we support. In other words, on our way down, do we put in a higher low? Do we wind up failing, coming back to where all this strength is with moving averages and bouncing off of that 59.43? I'm okay with that. I just want to see us get back above the blue zone again. Right? But now that becomes a stair step, right? And that's what I'm looking at. Can we then finally break above and bounce and take off from there? And that's exactly what I want to see. From a VIX standpoint, I've said it over and over and over again. I'm not that excited about VIX any longer. As we get higher, we get up to that 25, 30 level, I'll take much more interest in it because of costing of options. But, at 15, okay. We're a low price. You're not going to do much better on the price of your options, barring news. Okay. So there we are with S&P 500 with the market review. Oh, okay. So we've got Mastermind Group coming up tonight, actually. Monster Market Movers is tomorrow. Inner Circle is coming up on the 27th. Mastering the Trade, that's for those of you that are in POP. You will automatically be registered for that. Power Hour Trading Coaches Playbook after today, of course, on regular schedule. Brandon's got the Spread Spectrum coming out on the 22nd and the 29th. Don't miss it. Great training, guys. Andrew just dropped a link in for that. And then Power Option Plays, Covered Call Explorer, E-mini. I'm doing POP this evening. It's normally Mondays, but we did not have an open market yesterday, so I wanted to wait for a second day. So here we are for today. All right, we'll get that in today. All right, and there's, again, Spread Spectrum. So check it out. Weekly training topic. All right, each and every week we put a topic together of what we want to teach on, what we want to train on for the week. And this week is $1,000 account. Here's what to do. The questions come up all the time of, but I have such a small account, or how much do I have to have in order to be able to trade? And in reality, you don't have to have a lot to trade. You don't. Period. The end. You do not. You do not have to have a lot to trade. So what does that represent? What does that mean? Okay. If you're trading with a smaller account, or you might be trading with a $100,000 account, but you're only willing to put $1,000 at risk as you learn, and that's okay, right? So if what time is it? We got enough time. Let's go ahead and document this. Actually, let me do it from here. So here, why bother typing when I can just copy and paste? Okay, so $1,000 account, what to do, right? First thing is you're going to need to pick one strategy. And I'm going to tell you right now, buying calls and puts is probably the best strategy to choose. I am not opposed to selling strategies. I love covered calls. I love diagonal spreads. I love credit spreads. The easiest one to learn is a singular option directional trade. Covered calls require stock and options and more cash because you're buying stock. Credit spreads requires you to buy one option, sell one option. Diagonal spreads, not only does it require you to buy one and sell one, it requires you to buy and sell one on two different time frames. Right? Iron condors requires you to buy and sell. And they're great trades. But as you are first learning, pick directional trades. Well, Brandon's got his SPX text messages that he sends out. How about that? Yes, you're buying calls and you're buying puts. Exactly. But you got very focused on a topic. Very focused, hyper-focused on a topic. Okay? Which is exactly what you want to see. Exactly what you want to see. Very hyper-focused, right? So pick one strategy. And again, I like buying calls and puts, right? From there, you need to set your risk profile. I do believe it's hard to trade, whether it's funded or non-funded, with less than $500, right? Now, if you have $400, can you find lower price stocks to trade? Yes. But what I meant by that is $1,000 account, you're not stuck with just doing one trade. You have the ability to do two different trades, right? So let's just say you're going to do $500 per trade. What I was getting at here is if you put $100 in the position and say that's my risk is going to be 100, you don't have enough in there. You're looking for a $1 option. You couldn't even do SPY today, right? They were $1.60. So I think a little bit more risk to get started, especially that you practice trading. Non-funded trading is fine, right? The next thing is you're going to paper trade like you have $100,000. What do I mean by that? See, if you have $1,000 and you're doing a $500 trade, right? You do a trade now, you do another trade a half hour later, that's it, you're done. You have no more money left in your non-funded account. No, don't do it that way. You're learning how to wait. You're not learning how to trade. Pretend that do not put a limitation on how much money you start with. Not yet, right? Once you learn right, how paper trading works and what you're doing, right, then once profitable on paper, switch to paper trading with the 1K in your account. Once you look at this and go, all right, I've got it. I figured this out. I know what I'm doing, what I'm doing right, what I did wrong. I know how I want to trade this now. Now switch over to trade with the $1,000 in your account. Do not limit yourself in the very beginning. You get very good at learning how to wait, not learning how to trade. I want this to become an expedited process for you. Quicker, the better. Better, stronger, faster. How quickly can I get you through there? Right? And of course, you're going to, with paper trading, you're going to do what's called forward testing. What does that mean? You're actually doing it. You're hitting the buttons. You're in there placing an order. Ideally, it is in a brokerage platform. It is not on paper. You're not writing it down on a piece of paper. You're actually hitting enter. Now, there are limitations. TradeStation doesn't negotiate very well when it comes to pricing. You don't always get filled, even though the price hit there. So you're going to have some limitations on what you can and cannot do. I don't know when it comes to TOS or Tasty or some of the other ones out there, Interactive Brokers. I don't know good, bad, or indifferent. I just know what I deal with on TradeStation. I just had this conversation with Sean in my office the other day, who's trying a new strategy and is just not getting filled, even though the price is actually hitting it, and in some cases sitting there and it's still not getting filled. And he's using TradeStation. Okay, so with paper trading, you're going to do forward testing, right? Once confident on paper, consider funded trading. All right, what does that mean? One contract trades only. Wait, no, I got $500 to spend. If that option was $1, I should be doing 5 contracts. Not in the beginning, you shouldn't. Everything is one. So 500 is your max, but everything is one. Remember, let me ask this. Have any of you ever seen that when you are paper trading and when you are funded trading, things don't seem to work out the same way? In other words, emotion gets in the way. You don't take the trade right. You got nervous. You freaked out. Has anybody here, give me a 1 for yes or 2 for no. Has anybody in here besides me ever freaking done that? Brenda's like lighting the screen up for the whole room. What? Yes, one, right? Damn Skippy, right? The emotions when the paper is white versus the emotions when the paper is green are different. They are different, right? Different. So, be very, very, very abundantly cautious when you start to trade with real money. Get confident first, right? Then once comfortable with funded trades, consider adding more contracts up to your max, in this case, of $500 per trade. Let's make that a little wider. Okay. So, in other words, if you have $500 and you're buying a $1 option and you just bought one, now you're going to do another trade with a $1 option, go to 2. And that's the way I suggest it, is you go to 2. Then you could add, when get comfortable there, go to 3, then go to 4, then go to 5. Continue to add it or increase it up, right? But the bottom line is really comes down to this. You do not need a lot of money in order to trade the market. You do need a lot of patience, confidence, skill to get the success you're looking for. It doesn't come by luck. You don't want it to, because your luck could be crap today. Yes, crap is a luck as well, right? Where you have no luck, basically. You don't want it to be where you've got this horrible setup that you're taking, right? Feel confident in the trades you're doing, right? And the biggest thing I could say here is to be ultra selective. You only want stocks that have the right pattern for what you're doing. So as an example, if I go back and look at Home Depot, let's say CrowdStrike. Let's go back into CrowdStrike. Let's go back into the 5-minute candle. Actually, let's do this. No, I think they were both okay. Okay, so let's use Home Depot. Okay, this fib line right here is, we're going to call it 413. Okay, so that's $413 is that fib line right there. Just put this here. That fib line is 413. Okay, so let's say that you're looking at this saying, all right, I need the stock to close above, retest, and bounce, right? So now you can actually set parameters. How much above? On this candle, we closed at 411.28. No, 413.52. Sorry, 413.52. We can't close at 411 when we're at 413 to support. So we closed at 413.5 on this candle. You could have looked at this and say, listen, I need to move up at least $1. I'm making this up, at least $1 off of that fib line. Then I needed to pull back within 50 cents and then bounce. You can get very stringent on your rules. And if it doesn't meet all those parameters, you don't take the trade. Now, are you going to have some that work out great and you're kicking yourself for not taking it? Yes. There's going to be others that don't work out and you're going to be very happy that you didn't take it, right? You can't look at it that way, right? It's not about what did I miss. It's about the ones that I did actually take. How did I do? You can learn to become a better trader, but you first have to learn how to trade. Forget about the better part. Right now, you got to learn to get into it. And I am sorry. The only way you learn how to win a fight is to get in a fight. You're going to have to take some licks once in a while to learn how to do this, right? I don't remember what the movie was. I saw it on social, a little video clip. And there was an argument in a bar and two guys are going at it, arguing. And this one big muscular guy steps in and says, tough guy? And he looks at the guy and he spits on his shoe and he goes, I'm a tough guy. He goes, 500 fights? And he goes, what the hell does that mean? He's cursing at the guy. Yeah, I'll put that back up. Sure. So he goes, 500 fights? What do you mean 500 fights? He said, as a kid, I wanted to be a tough guy and I knew I'd have to be in 500 fights to learn how to be a tough guy. Right? And he said, after a while, you just start forgetting about the number 500. You're there, you're doing it. Right? It's no different here. You've got to be in those trades. You've got to be doing it. Right? But be very selective. Listen, I'm not an idiot. When I played hockey, I didn't go after the guy that was 6'8" and start a fight with him. I'll start a fight with the guy that's 5'7", 5'10", my own size, right? Give or take. Okay, but I'm not going to start a fight with a guy that's going to take my head off the first swing he takes, right? And it's no different with your trade. Don't get into a trade that's going to take your head off the first one that you take. Okay? Let me see this in here. Did we have it on the wrong time? So Barry's Monster Market Movers is on the 22nd at 8 p.m. Spread Spectrum is the 22nd at 12 p.m. So it's a different time. The 23rd is 8 p.m. Right? So he's got 4 of them. I didn't actually even see the last 2 dates, but the 22nd. I appreciate you. Keep me honest on that, Barry. Okay. Let's put this back here. Let's get this. Let's get this. Okay. All right. So Roman, that's what you're looking for right there, correct? That list, the document I wrote. And I do save these. If anybody ever gets stuck, I save them. You can always go back and just grab it in the video. We're about 15 minutes in at this point. Okay, you got it. Good, good. Yeah, when we're done, I save this stuff. I keep it purposely keep it for myself, if nothing else, right? Okay, perfect. So there's our topic, guys. $1,000 account. Start small. Pick the right candidate. Pick the right strategy. Pick the right candidates. Paper trade, paper trade, paper trade. And then and only then start to put real funds in the trade, but very, very, very slow fashion. Small. Take your time. Oh, but Rob, I don't want to miss out on this trade. Listen, there's going to be plenty more trades. You're never, ever, ever going to get to a point that you won't find a trade. Ever. There will always be another trade out there. So don't stress over the one that you didn't take. All right? Let's bring that current. And your candidates, your stocks. What stocks do you want to look at? Drop them in. Right? We've got 8 minutes left. I will get as many as we can in those 8 minutes. If y'all don't have any stocks for us to look at, then we're done. Let's see, which I know is not the case, but Brenda's asking for SPY. Let's go back to a daily chart. That will be importante for me. Come on, daily chart. Let's go. All right. So, Brenda, I like where we're at. Bounce, pull back to the 600 and bounce. 603.75 is resistance. I need to break the 598.68 for a bearish trade, and that would be down to 593. At least for now it is. That's where the 8 and 24 are, 21 are. All right, Brenda also asked for Amazon. Amazing Amazon. Woo! Come on, baby. Papa, need a new pair of shoes. Jeff Bezos was all over the place yesterday on social media with being at the inauguration. They did a calculation, and Bezos, Musk, and Zuckerberg, nearly $1 trillion of net worth sitting together talking yesterday at inauguration. They were the oligarchs, right? And I know Zuckerberg commented on not liking that he was considered an oligarch. I love what's happening with it, Brenda, but I need this, just without a doubt, I need this to get above the 233. If it does, let's see what we've got. The 33 to 43 is 10. I don't need to fib it. It's right on the cusp of it, but I don't need it. So break up, retest, bounce. I probably would pull half my trade off about 238 and let the other half go to about 242. Downside, nothing yet. We'd have to break through the 424, and then 419 will be the target, or the support rather. Well, you know what? Let me go shift this over to all symbols. So in case there's one that is not on my list, Roman's asking for NVIDIA. I am still a regular trader of this one, Roman. I have for a long time and continue to like NVIDIA a lot. It's a fairly large holding for us, us personally, my wife and I. It's a fairly large holding for us in our portfolio. Yeah, I mean, I love them as a company. I think there's a lot of opportunity. There are other AI companies you could look at. I think some of what President Trump is talking about without limiting the US and AI and having China, which is blowing us away with AI, having them get faster, stronger, better. We're not, because of the limitations put. They just, today he canceled out some kind of executive order to stop certain chips or something. I didn't catch all of it, but the announcer on CNBC was very much about, and this is going to be very beneficial to the US as far as our race to win at AI, right? So I think NVIDIA is going to lead that pack. They've had their massive run. You're not going to see that, but I think they're long-term growth at this point, personally. So pull back to that 139 and bounce up to the 144 Roman is my target. Downside's tough because the moving averages are in the middle. But I like it a lot to the upside. Les said I'm in SPY and up a couple $100. Great job, Les. I love it. Yeah, so Les said, how do we get a list of upcoming AI stocks? The internet has everyone only giving a list if you pay to join them. Yeah, that's freaking insane. So Les, here, I'm going to tell you how to do it for free. Okay. Go over to tradinglikeaboss.com. I don't have this exact thing in the document, but I'll tell you what you're going to want to use. Go over and download the AI prompts. And when you download that, inside of there, there's, again, video members area. I talk about what AI platform to use. Go there and search for, but only do it on this one. It's not going to work as well on the others. At least I have not found it to work as well on the others. Go there and ask it, what are the most up and coming US stocks that are AI related? Tell me what the company does, and I need them to be optionable. Right? When are their earnings dates? You could ask all of that in there. But I want to know, what are the most up and coming AI stocks that are optionable, that are, and you got to say US because it may give you stocks that are not US based. Okay. And using this platform, this is the only one you should use it for anything stock market, because there is no platform up to today, as of today's date, that has more up-to-date information than this one right here. Right? Pretty freaking cool, actually. So that's how I would grab them, Les. And what people are selling you is penny stocks. They're telling you, oh, we got this 42-cent stock that's going to be this $100 company. Yeah. It's called a boiler room, right? They're selling you crap, selling you junk. Be very careful with stuff like that. Okay, let me see. There was one more symbol, I think, in here. ELF. Stephanie was asking for ELF. Hey, Stephanie, how you doing? Stephanie, you guys still in New York? I know you were talking at some point of headed out, but are you guys still in the city? Let's see. Let's unscrunch this. Yep, you move in March. Okay. Where are you guys headed to? All right, we look at ELF, E-L-F, ELF Beauty. Interesting name, isn't it? ELF Beauty, kind of oxymoron. I mean, I'm cool with elves, but beauty is not the word that resonates with me when I think of an elf. So I like this much better, Stephanie, to the downside. Break, retest, fail, right? You're taking that trade right about 120 is the entry, give or take, Stephanie. Support is at 112 and a quarter, so my target would probably be about 113 and a half, give or take. Okay, so you're still going to stay in New York, but just more Hudson River Valley area. Good. And Stephanie said, that was my thought. Thanks for the confirmation. Yep, there you go. And that's what this section really should be. I got a plan in my head. What do you see? And if you write your plan out, by the way, I can talk to that plan. If you give me that detail of, I'm looking at this as a break to the downside, retest the support line, and drop, I can answer to that specific question if you do, right? So let's see. Let's see if I have time to get these last ones in. CVX. Oh, I never saw it change. Oh, there we go. I didn't see it. Oh boy. So I got a very old fib on CVX, Chevron. I don't know. I don't have an opinion yet, Brenda, on CVX. ExxonMobil is the other one she asked about. I don't have an opinion yet on, is Joe Baby Drill going to be good for the energy industry or bad because of what it's going to do for pricing? Someone from Canada came out today and said in a conversation they just had with the president, he does intend to continue to buy oil from Canada. Very much a mixed message there, because I heard, at least I thought I heard, that we don't need Canada's energy. We've got enough under our own ground. But it's not available today, right? We're not ready with it today. Offshore drilling, I think that's going to be reinstated again. All of the stuff that an executive order was just passed to block any drilling in the ocean. I think that's going to be wiped out. I know the wind initiative in water was stopped. No more new wind in water. Yeah, whether you believe in it or not, guys, this is not about your political views. This is about, how do I make money with this? So Stephanie, I don't know good or bad. I mean, it's, if you look at from November, right, here is, let's see, November 15th, November 20th is right here, right in this area. And we came crashing down from there. Right now, we've had a nice bounce ever since, and that came in December 20th. right? So a month before inauguration, basically. Okay. We had this bounce. So right now, that 159 retest and bounce off at 163.5 is resistance. Right. If we look at Exxon, which is always my go-to when it comes to energy stocks of what's the market doing. Same thing. We had this pullback after the November election. We bounced, but not as much. Move up, retest, and bounce off of the 112. 115 is resistance. I don't have enough in there for me to take that trade. So I'm not excited about that one. Right. So a couple of things. If you didn't capture this, go to the very end of the recording on YouTube, pause it, and you'll be able to see it there in the members area, for that members area of what's inside of there, rather. Head over to tradinglikeaboss.com and download, any of the trainings that you want. I mean, there's a ton of stuff in there, but download this free training document on the AI prompts and learn how to start using AI to help you in your analysis. You can take the prompts that I've written, and I wrote all of these, by the way. You can take the prompts that I've written and you can rework them to fit what you're looking for. Or Rob, you've got something in there about earnings, but I want to find this. Great, then change it to that. All right. Excellent. So with that, everybody, and go ahead and get registered for Brandon's Spread Spectrum. I'll put that one up on the screen and leave that up there for now. But go ahead and get registered for Brandon's Spread Spectrum, guys. Learn how to do this the right way. Right? Let's see. Barry said we export good petroleum that we cannot refine, and we import back to foreigners to refine it. So we're not exporting oil. We're neutral on it. We still need Canadian, Mexican, and Saudi oil. Yeah, and maybe I don't know enough about it. That's not really my sector. All I know is I really liked it when oil was trading at $75 a barrel, right? $25 a barrel. We had much lower prices than this $4 gas prices we're looking at today. So Andrew dropped in the link to Spread Spectrum. Go ahead and click on that link to get registered. Made it real easy. There's a couple of other links inside the I keep saying members area, inside of the text chat. Go and grab those. I'll leave my page open for now. Everybody have a great rest of your day, and I will see you all at our next update. Take care, folks. See you soon.